CAFOs, the problem and proposed solutions. The USDA defines CAFOs, concentrated animal feeding operations, as operations with more than 1,000 animal units confined on site for more than 45 days during the year. CAFOs are point sources for pollution, as large operations can generate more manure waste than some U.S. cities, and yet they're not required to manage the waste with sewage treatment facilities. Without effective waste management, manure from CAFOs can affect the ground and surface water quality and increase the particulate matter in the air, affecting ambient air quality in the surrounding community. Iowa has a greater number of CAFOs than any other state, with 3,500 in operation, with Minnesota falling a distant second with 1,300, which is contributing to negative impacts on environmental, occupational, and public health, locally and beyond. Between 2000 and 2017, Iowa documented over 800 releases of manure to surface water, groundwater, and land due to improper waste management, mechanical failures, or other problems related to CAFOs. The degraded water quality from manure spills has led to fish kills, nitrate and ammonia pollution, antibiotics, hormones, and bacterial contamination, and algae blooms, which contribute to the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico. CAFOs reduce air quality through the increased emission of gaseous substances and particulate matter, affecting those exposed occupationally as well as the surrounding community. The most typical pollutants found in the air surrounding CAFOs are ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, methane, and particulate matter, all of which have varying human health risks. The toxic air emissions from CAFOs adversely affect health and contribute to climate change. Those with allergies, asthmatics, especially children, and adults with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease are at particular risk. Because exposures from CAFOs affect not only CAFO employees, but also the surrounding community, strong regulations should be put in place to protect vulnerable populations living in the community, such as children, the elderly, asthmatics, immune-compromised individuals, and low socioeconomic status individuals. Currently, there is minimal regulation of CAFOs, and Iowa has limited the ability of local governments to regulate them and has left the enforcement of existing regulations up to the Department of Natural Resources, DNR. However, several environmental groups have found that the DNR has done an inadequate job. To account for the lack of local government control, Iowa legislators adopted a master matrix in 2003 meant to impose tougher regulations on CAFOs. However, it's not proving stringent enough, as 97% of requested permits are approved, even in fragile karst topography, and against the objections of county supervisors and community groups. When properly managed, sited, and regulated, CAFOs can efficiently provide a low-cost source of meat, milk, and eggs. They also have the potential to increase employment and enhance the local economy through the purchase of local materials, feed, and livestock, increasing tax expenditures, leading to increased funds for schools and infrastructure. In Iowa, CAFOs used for pork production generated $6 billion in revenue in 2016, demonstrating the economic benefit CAFOs can bring to communities. And this demand for pork is only growing. In 2016, China was one of the largest importers of Iowan pork, and with an annual growth rate of 0.45%, China's population will grow by over 6 million in the next year, creating even more demand. The problems associated with CAFOs can be overwhelming and seem insurmountable. However, there are promising solutions to combat them. One of those solutions is to harness the waste. Requiring that all CAFOs install sewage treatment facilities would be a step in reducing hazards to environmental and public health. An even greater step would be to incentivize CAFO owners to capture the methane produced on site and use it as a source of renewable energy. In North Carolina, another large CAFO state, farmers are partnering with Duke Energy to convert their methane to electrify more than 800 homes per year. Creating stricter standards for CAFO permits, like not allowing them to be built on fragile topographic sites and requiring a sewage treatment plan, would go a long way toward ensuring that CAFOs are less harmful to the environment and human health. Also, we need to adequately fund the EPA, who is the federal agency responsible for setting standards for CAFOs, so they can enforce their existing regulations. If well managed, sustainably run animal farms have been shown to be just as cost-effective as CAFOs. Iowa has thousands of hoop structures used to raise hogs humanely on deep-bedded straw, reducing the possibility of manure spilling into ground and surface water. Investing in programs that incentivize and promote more sustainable hog farms would ensure increased health for everyone. We all want access to healthy food and a clean, safe environment. With proper management and regulation, a mix of CAFOs and sustainable farms can help us achieve that vision. Reach out to your local lawmakers in Iowa and ask them to revise the master matrix so that future generations can enjoy this great state for years to come.